One thing you can pretty much bank on in Texas is seeing hogs. It seems like they're just about everywhere and usually in big numbers. You know, for Chad and I going to the hill country, we do everything that we can do just to manage the problem. But this week it's time for a change of scenery. We're gonna be heading north to North Texas, where we're meeting up with the Noblies of Tactical Hog Eradication. We're gonna be hunting with them for a few nights in the wide open wheat fields there. We're gonna be doing it the way we do it with the kill lights.
Condition, lights out, stomping all competition. My utmost to his highest, it gets no flyer. We set the mainframe on fire. Code red for the lead from the pedal. I push to the metal, the dust never settles. F5 level, kick up the bass and the treble. Cause faith, that's a rebel. I can show you the devil. I blaze a trail like the rays from tail light sound, shaking the ground like earthquakes and hail might. Someday I'll die, but not tonight. Excuse me while I light up the sky.
You know, it seems like it takes a small army sometimes to do what we do. Man, we have a great team of men and women here at EWT, and there's no shortage of things to do. That's not saying it's a bad thing. It's really a good thing, thanks to y'all out there. But it does make it difficult to do all the things that we need to do sometimes. Well, two things that we can never have too much of is photos and videos. And even with this TV show that we're doing, we're always looking for more. There's so many of you out there that hunt with our products, and you send us photos through email, not to mention what you guys share with us on Facebook and Instagram. That stuff is incredible. We love it. Please keep sending it in.
You've seen Kurt McKendry from Pennsylvania. He's an incredible predator hunter that has such a wealth of knowledge, all things predators. And look, he's even a better guy. John Reed, a great friend to all of us here at Elusive Wildlife and a great hunter in his own right. There's so many more that we can't wait for y'all to meet in the future. And that brings us to this week and your introduction to the Noblies, Brad Jr. and Brad Sr., or as we call them, Brad and Bradley.
Well, as much as I hate these darn phones, these smartphones these days, kind of a necessary evil. And you know, running a company, man, you know, you got to have social media, so we're always trying to stay on that. And you know, I used to manage the Facebook until I got too busy. Now I do keep up with the Instagram. One night I was just checking the photo tags, everybody sending in their pictures, and man, I got this really good picture of this lightning in the background, this really nice hog. It really got my interest. It was like the second or third one that these same people had tagged me in, and man, they got my attention. They had some really good pictures. I started showing Scott. I said, man, we got to check out what these guys are doing, because you go to their page and they're killing hogs and predators left and right and taking great photos and video at the same time.
So after seeing what Brad and Bradley were doing on social media to promote our stuff and the professional manner that they were doing it in, you know, we realized right then we had to get with these guys. We had to reach out to them. Let's give credit where credit is due. You know, these guys, they love the nighttime hunting. They do the same thing that we do, but in just a little bit different way.
And you set me on fire. You set me on fire.
You know, the Noblies live in Nocona, Texas. And if you're wondering, yes, it's a town where the Nocona boot factory is. You know, it's also where they make Nocona baseball gloves, which are high quality gloves. You know, it's a beautiful part of Texas. Thousands of acres of fertile fields and plenty of farming and agriculture there. You know, it's a different type of terrain than we're used to, but it's beautiful there. The Red River's nearby, along with creeks, streams, lakes, and ponds. Basically prime hog hunting country. The obvious problem with it, though, is unless you're a hog farmer, you don't want to hog, especially a wild feral hog, near your property.
And these waterfalls I've seen a million
Wow, this is beautiful, man. The huge Red River. That thing looks like it's 200 yards across. Bradley, how you doing?
Good.
Brad Senior, nice to see y'all. I tell you, we'll walk right over here. We'll take a look. But that's Oklahoma side. We're on the Texas side.
That's right.
Yeah, we don't have tags for that side.
Oh man! Hey, we got to keep it in Texas, brother.
Yep.
Hey, well, I'm excited. I know that you've been shooting the 750 HD in green. I know you do the red too, both of y'all. And we appreciate the pictures that y'all been sending in. That's one of the reasons that we're here. Y'all sending such great photos of y'all success stories in shooting these hogs. And so, out here, it's private property that they have with their family. A lot of acreage, a lot of agriculture, a lot of hay fields. These cut hay fields, these hogs are coming in there and just doing so much damage to these properties. And, at some point, you have to take action. The way that they're able to do that is at night, take advantage of the nighttime. Those hogs are out there in the fields. They're able to creep up on these animals and shoot them with the 750 HD and light them up. And they're having a lot of success. And so we're hoping to duplicate that on this trip. I'm excited. Hey, we're here on the Red River. It's beautiful, beautiful area. And we're right there at Oklahoma. We're gonna be on the Texas side. I gotta remember that. But we're gonna be having fun. We're not gonna be afraid to pull the trigger a little bit. I know both of y'all like to do that.
Yeah.
I like to too. Hopefully I can keep up a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit of a learning experience for me out here, and I'm fired up. This is beautiful right here. I mean, look, the sun's going down, and hey, when the sun goes down, it's on.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, man. I'm excited, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
Hey, yo, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. Hey, yo, here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell 'em turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call. Here comes the danger up in this club. When we get started, man, we ain't gon' stop. We gon' turn it out till it gets too hot. Everybody sing, hey, yo. Tell them turn it out till they can't no more. Let's get this thing shaking like a disco ball. This is your last one and a courtesy call.
Hunting these big open fields, we're trying to cover hundreds of acres at a time. Starting out, you want to cover a large area and see as much of the field as you can. So you need a wider field of view. With any light, the more you spread the beam, the shorter the distance you can see and you lose some brightness. Once you find eyes, or in the case of hogs, a lot of times you're looking for a body or movement. When you find them, being able to zoom down on them and have a more intense light is a big deal. We're using the 500 HD and 750 HD on this hunt in green. Both of these lights have interchangeable LEDs, so you can run them in green, red, or white. Both of these lights have the ability to zoom focus, widen the beam out to scan, and focus the beam down to shoot. You always have the ability with both of these lights to adjust the brightness level to fit your shot with the whisper dimmer switch. When you're calling animals, hey, they may run in, they may come straight into you, or they may hang up a ways out. So either way, the whisper dimmer switch gives you the ability to dim it down or brighten it up.
One of the things I love about hunting is all the different scenarios and the different terrains and things that you encounter. Hill country, obviously Scott and I are very partial to that. We spend most of our hunting time in that area. It sets up really well for bow hunting, and it's close in, short yard shots that goes for pretty much everything we hunt out there. But obviously, lots of other guys and gals out there, you have different setups.
For example, the Noblies, they're hunting huge, vast open crop fields. Now you could obviously find some heavily used trails near water, you know, set up a tree stand or a ground blind and bow hunt these hogs. And you know, that would be a whole lot of fun.
But the problem is the number of these hogs they're looking at. You're just not going to kill the numbers that you need to make a dent in any of the population out here. So a rifle with a 500 or 750 HD mounted to it makes a lot more sense for these guys than what they're doing. They are trying to scan and cover hundreds of acres of ground in just a matter of a few hours, and you just simply can't do that with a bow setup.
You know, one of the first times I saw the true damage that these hogs have done, you know, Brad and his father took us out to one of their family's fields, and it was incredible. I mean, right there by the river, they have family land right there, and I mean, it is just torn up so bad, it is decimated. And the damage that these animals can cause in such a brief period of time is incredible. It's kind of like a before and after picture. And then we go a little, I don't know, maybe 5 miles away to some other property that his family has. And, you know, right there behind the house, these hogs are coming up in the yard behind the house and just obliterated at least an acre right there behind the house, not to mention his crops out there. So, you know, really seeing this damage in person, it really was, you know, eye-opening. You can see pictures and all that, but to see it on the ground in person was pretty incredible.
We're here on our property. We're going to be hunting actually a milo field behind here a little ways. And right here, you can hear that radio's on right there. The landowner leaves the radio on some rock music turned up a little loud as a deterrent for the hogs. They're coming right in the backyard and tearing up the property. And as we walked right here in front of the house, they were tearing up in front of the house too. Yeah, if you look right here what they've done, I mean, they're doing all that in one night. That's unreal, man. Golly, look at this all right there. I mean, these hogs they're becoming more and more bold and just coming right up here on people's property when people are inside, and at night they're leaving the radio on, everything, anything that they can do to deter the hogs from coming in and scare them. They've been trapping, doing everything. But we're gonna be hunting back behind here in a milo field where they got a bunch of hogs, and hopefully we can lay some down.
Well, after seeing the area that they're hunting in, one thing that's immediately noticeable is the habitat in this North Texas area that's bordering the Red River. It's prime hunting ground for hogs. With all this water source and all these food crops everywhere, the farmers are using this water, obviously, to water their crops. The problem is the hogs love the water. And in a lot of ways, these rivers are just roads to follow for these hogs. It's like a theme park for the hogs. No wonder that this area is so hog rich.
You know, there's no doubt that Nocona, Texas, and the land in and around the Red River definitely has a hog problem. You know, the destruction is there, all the sign is there, but just like everywhere we've ever hunted, these hogs are still unpredictable. You know, with so much food and water and cover, getting the jump on these hogs with a rifle and even with our lights, you know, it hasn't been easy. Not as easy as we'd expect, but it's not time to throw in the towel just yet. We're gonna go ahead and get some sleep. We're gonna regroup. Hopefully next week we can get on these hogs and we can finally slow down some of the damage that they're creating for these farmers and these landowners.
I feel weak and hear these voices in my head telling me to.
You know, as hunters, we're always talking about what is the perfect time to hunt, and we're evaluating things like weather patterns and moon phases and calendars and times of the year. I do it all the time, and probably so do you. But the truth of the matter is, do you want to know when the absolute best time to hunt is? Whenever you can. You just got to go. I mean, you got to go whenever you can. And if you've hunted any length of time and you're like me, I've killed deer on every situation I shouldn't have. I've killed them on bad moon phases. I've killed them in bad weather patterns. I've killed them at times of the year when it was hot, when it was super cold. Every time of the year. You never know when a good deer is going to move. You just got to go whenever you can. But you know, I also hear this same thing when it comes to people and God, right? I hear people sometimes say, well, I'm waiting to get this right before I go to church, or I'm waiting to get this right before I come to God. And they're waiting on perfect timing when they can finally kind of get that addiction under control, or maybe they can get this thing in their life worked out, and somehow in their mind they just feel like if I can get all cleaned up and get right, then I'm ready to come to God, or I'm ready to go to church. But nothing could be further from the truth. Look, man, you got to come as you are. It doesn't even really make good sense, does it? We don't go to the doctor when we're finally well. We don't go to the restaurant when we're finally full. We simply come to God like we are, in desperation, in need. He loves us just like we are, and He is the one that helps us begin to navigate through all the difficulties and struggles of our life. So the best time to come to God is right now, just like you are, right where you are. He loves you and accepts you and embraces you and wants to help you change the things in your life that need to be changed. If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to elusivewildlife.com and click on the Moment of Truth tab.
Cut me like those words you throw.